Hello guys, this is James and today we're gonna talk about some methods regarding array. Yes, and they are different. We just categorize it into two. The first one is the method on the array.prototype. So this kind of arrays will be inherited by any instance of array, which is an instance of array that is any like array we create. So all those methods will be inherited by an instance of array. The second category will go to in the constructor. The array constructor with capital A, it also have different important method. So we also will talk about that. The first thing I think what we're gonna do is to create a random array. Okay, and this one contains any numbers. And the first thing I want to note is that actually we can add any elements here. And the index of this array is 0, index 0, or right. And the 2 equals to 1 equals to 3, and array index 3 equals to 4. All right, but we can also change it. For instance, if we change the first elements, the index to 100, let's see what will happen here. As we said, let's see that the first element just changed to 100. Also, we can change it to any element, even to a string. Say it can be a string. So in JavaScript, the elements of an array can be anything. Even we change it to maybe a function. Let's see what happened. Actually, right, it's just become a function. But if we just give it a index 5, let's say that 1, 3, 4 remain the same, and the index 3 and 4 just gave out 2 empty items here, and then it gave a function attached to the last. So if we want to see, oh, what's here in the array, let's say the input, it's undefined. So we can see that after this, we can get an array of 1, 3, 4 undefined function. All right, so we go to the next. Still in this array, we just want to see its names. It is 6. The undefined comes out from here, and then the array length is 6. Why 6? Because we have 6 elements here. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, undefined, and function. And another thing important is we can, since everything in JavaScript is object, so actually we can just give it a key and a value, for instance. And let's also log this array again. Delete this one. All right. Yeah, we just change also the length here. Yeah, there's something we have to know. First, it really add a key at the end of this array, a key 6, but the length of the array remains the same. 6 means only it covers from 1 to the function. Our conclusion is, so that's something very important. If we want to define some property, so here it will not, if we using the array length, it cannot see it. But if we use console log, still we can see that this key 6 is included in this array. Okay. Then we will just deal with the elements of the arrays by those kind of method, for instance. And then, do you know what is everyone? Actually, it should be exactly the same. It contains the same environment as the array. That's how we use slice. Array 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 2 empty item functions. Please note, it seems there's no key already here. Let's just check it. See, if we use slice to copy arrays, it will not copy any of its property or any its method in this array. This is something very important. So also, as we said, the names will not include something from the object characteristic of the arrays will not be selected either in the slice or the names. Okay, then we have to see that with the slice, it will make the original array intact. Because no matter what we did, if we really cancel out the original array, we can see that always the original array will remain the same. But there's another method in the Array.prototype that can change the original array, but it has more versatilities. That is like we define another array.splice. Let's say first we just want to do it. If we use array splice 2.0 and then we just output the it should be out. This one means that from the index 2, move for 0, so actually we will not delete everything. The return value should be empty array. That's it. And our original value will remain the same. But if we do something different like this, we starting at the index 2, we go for the 1 to delete it. And then let's see what will happen. The return value, which is array 2, will become 4. Why is 4? Because it should be the index 2 starting from 4, right? So it will really delete it, and then it will just return it to array 2. And also it modifies our original value. So the 4 has been removed, then only those things left. So splice is different from slice. Slice will always remain, make the original value intact, not change anything, no matter what it will do. However, the splice will change the original value. Okay, then let's do something else. Not just delete, we'll also put something here. First, still it returns the 4. It means that still the index starting from 2 moving forward 1 elements, which pinpoint at least 4 will be deleted. However, if we add something here, then those things will exactly inserted in the same place as 4 before, and then it will insert starting from the original position 4, then goes to insert everything here, then comes along with the original elements. So we know that splice can also insert something when we pinpoint the position. If we have this value equals to 0, it means we will not delete everything, we just insert. If we give it a value, 1 or 2, it means from the index here, it will move forward to maybe, like in this case, 2 elements deleted. Then from the original place, we insert the remaining things. So splice is much more versatile because it can only delete, insert, and insert plus delete. So that's something we talk about the splice. The second thing, I think we just talking about push, pop, shift, and unshift. As we see, if we use push, the return value should be the length of the current length of array here, and also the element will change. As we see that at the end of these arrays, and the 2 values we input has been added. Just also be mindful that any object characteristics will remain intact the same. It will not affect by anything. And we just push just at the end of any like normal elements. It will really add 12 and 2 12, one is string, the other one is number, right? Okay. And also array.push itself returns the value of its length. That's push. And how about pop? Oh, actually doesn't have any parameters to pass in. You just let out the next elements or the elements at the end of this array. Of course, it doesn't include the key 6. Array after. Just call it. So let's see the last two entries. The return value of pop actually is not the length already. It's really the one exactly being popped out, 12. And then we can see the remaining arrays will be something like this. Then there's a 12 missing, right? Okay. Actually, this one can be replaced by the splice, right? Because splice can have the same functions. And then we go to the shift and unshift. Shift and shift compared to the push and pop is doing the tail work, means at the end of the array. But shift and unshift just add something or delete something from the head of the arrays. Let's just try. As we see that if we use array.shift, the first elements will be popped out, will disappear. So only left us 3, 4, and those kind of things. And of course, the return value should be the first value itself. And if we use unshift, let's see what will happen. Unshift can really add elements parameters here. Let's focus on the last two. Okay, it returns 8. Why? Because the unshift, just like push, the return value is the length of the new array. And we can see that unlike push, it adds something at the end of the array, it adds something at the head of the array. So there's A, B string, and the rest of things. And another thing to remind, okay, the object characteristics will not be counted in the array.length. Let's move to the next one. Here I define the array A and a nested array B, right? It has an array in the array. The second thing is that we just use. If we use A concatenate B, then it will just put everything of B after A, and it has just create something new here. And how about we use join? Join can have a parameters here to join or the elements by what, if that is. Let's see what will happen. First, we can see it's become a string like 2-AB. So the conclusion is that if it's in the same tier, like not the outside of listed ones, everything here will just become a dash because we define dash. But inside, well, it just remains something like this. Still keep the comma and keep the B. We can really try something different like this. Less than another one. See what will happen. See, in the it will become a string, and everything in the nested array it will remain intact. A, B, comma, A, comma, B, comma, C, comma until D. But in the first, outside of nested ones, it will really change the comma to the dash as we defined here. So I think that's for the concatenate and the join method. Thanks for watching. We will continue our exploration of the method in arrays.